So what's up guys, another video, second video on the Legend Tournament. If you haven't seen it yet, check out my analysis on like the Legend Tournament on the plays, what kind of plays I made, that kind of stuff. But this video is not going to talk about the matches, it's going to be talking about everything before the Legend Tournament. So what did I do to get there, how much did I play, how many matches did I play everything, did I not play everything, did I play at specific times, what did I do? So this the moment I saw this thing, I'm like, wow, I gotta screenshot this, and then I was like, why is this off center? Probably because barely anyone sees this thing, so they never really test to see if this thing is off center. But come to us, this thing is off center. You gotta fix this. But yeah, funny thing is also I didn't take a screenshot of that. It kept like repeating of like how the system works. Like, oh, first we're gonna play match A of rank 1 against rank 4, and then they also said it in Chinese, so they had two languages there. I think they maybe check like who's in there and then which languages they should do. But they said, like, they kept repeating it both in Chinese and in English. So that's funny to say, because we had, like, pretty much English-speaking people, and we had one Chinese player in there. So I got rank 2 in the end. I will show you, like, how much I played later, but the ranks were relatively close. But I saw in the last few days that both Shizzy and How to Play were, they were going up and down, but they couldn't really catch up. So I didn't play the last few days. And also we had Dog Guy below that. Yeah, he just had like a bad few last days, which made him drop like quite some. So in the end, how much win rate did I have? I had 78.1% win rate. I could have gotten a higher win rate because my win rate near the end was like closer to like 85% win rate actually. It started climbing near the end, which was actually pretty interesting to see, because normally how your win rate goes is like, especially if you start late in the season, you see like a really high win rate, and then the moment you get to your actual rank, you start like a curve down pretty much. But for some reason I saw it with all of like the top 5, top 6, yeah, let's say top 6, top 7 competitors, so including Cam Waller, True Will. Well, True Will not really, I think he didn't climb that much, but Cam Waller especially, and also Dog Guy, so the whole top 6, they were actually climbing in their win rate, and everyone was having like crazy days, and I was tracking like every day, like how much did people play, what kind of ranks did they get, how many wins did they get, how many losses did they get, what did they lose against, blah blah blah. So I was actually tracking like quite a bunch of stuff. But of course it's different than if you would play on like pre-ban kind of stuff. So I have this website, and it actually works really easy. You use the Summoners War rune exporter on full log. With the full log, if you go to with that full log on, it actually logs everything. Like, so every request that comes in, it actually logs it. There's a whole bunch of requests that come in and that go out that the thing doesn't do anything with. I made something for myself that actually looks into like the RTA kind of stuff. So I read out like, for example, the top 100. So this is the last record of the top 100, and I'm a banana. I just made this by myself. It's pretty. You see all of these names here. I just track of like some people that I put in favorite. I track like individual matches and that kind of stuff. You can track a whole bunch of stuff. Is this like public? No, it's not. I just made it for myself because then I don't have to mind that anyone can like misuse it, or just like, as we call it, do like wrong things with it, or get error message you don't expect or anything like that. I really can't be arsed to actually make something that could be like public and that kind of stuff, because it's just, it will be way too much work, and I don't think this is that interesting for that. So yeah, you have the top 100, and also I have to like load this in manually all the time. This is not like an automated bot script or anything that's loading this in. No, every time like I want a new top 100, I have to go on my Nox, I get like my second account logged in, and I go to the thing, and I just click on it, and if I want to see matches, load that in, I have to click on like favorites, that kind of stuff, and it just loads all the matches inside, that kind of stuff. So let's look at win rate. So talking about the top 6, so the top 6 was pretty close, and then the number 7, like True was a little bit further off. So if you check like win rates, it was all like pretty high, like 78, 78, 77, 76, 73. This one was a bit lower. But also the big difference is like how many matches did people play. Or I played at the same amount of win rate in the end as Pinkroyd. But for example, that this is Dog Guy. He played way more matches at a lower win rate, and therefore had just like, you see the point like gain like is fluctuating. But also if you play all of your matches at the start, which makes it more difficult to climb, because that's one of the points. If you start really early, the all of G3, like G3 is not 300 people yet, G2 is not 1,000 people yet, G1 is not 200 or like 2,500 people yet, And therefore it's more difficult to climb because all of these ranks are not filled. And when all of these ranks are not filled, you actually lose more points. So let's look at the point loss. So what does it make that we need this much win rate to actually climb, and how much can you actually climb? So I'm just assuming that everyone goes better than 20 and 10 every day, which is a 66% win rate. Let's look at this first. So every win is +3. Legit, every win is +3 unless you play against someone else of the top 5. And even if Pinkroyd played against me, I would have been +3 for him if he wins. I could have gotten a +7 from him if he loses. That's just because there's like 200 points in between. And I think every 100 points it goes like -1 point with a max of like 3. So therefore, at some point, every lose against G3 is -7 points. Every lose against G2 is 8 points. G1 10 points. C3 12 points. And apparently C2 you can lose 14 points, but there's not that many people that's make it that far. Sorry, Firos. But yeah, okay. But actually, if your max gain is 90 points. If you lose one match, you lose 7 points, but you also lose another 3 points for not winning. So for one loss against a G3, you actually net on your max value that you can increase, you net -10. So for every lose, so if you go 21 and 9, just losing against G3s, you already don't gain any points. If you have that against C3s, you go -45 points the moment you lose 9 matches. So if you just play C3s, you have to play at least 24 wins and 6 loses. So that's an insane amount of win rate. So let me actually like take this to what win rate is that. So this is the actual win rate that you have. So if you're just playing C3s, you have to go 80% win rate. Well, you guys all know your own win rates. You have to go 80% win rate if you're just playing C3s to net like point gains. If you're just playing G3s, you already have to be 70% win rate to actually climb. So looking back at this, let's put it like, let's sort it by win rate percentage. So there's actually a few people that had higher win rates, but they just played that fewer matches. So yes, it's actually possible to get like 140 matches on 85% win rate and you're still like number 53. This guy pretty OP. Topafi, also same thing, 80% win rate. He just had like 420 matches, which equals to playing 14 days, so 2 weeks. So Topafi pretty much on an 80% win rate got rank 12 in 2 weeks. So he didn't get G3 in 2 weeks, no, he got rank 12 in 2 weeks. So yeah, actually having a really good win rate matters a lot. If he would have played a lot more matches, his win rate would have gone down because he started playing that late in the season. He probably played the first, like, I would say 100 to 150 matches way below his rank. So he was just smurfing. So it's literally like putting like, you put like a challenger player like in bronze in League of Legends or something like that. He was just smurfing his way through. And then instead of like having a team play, you have a one-on-one game. So it's actually way easier. So that's the highest win rate. So how many people? So we only have like 23 people in the top 100 that are actually possible of an infinite climb if they only play other G3s. If they have a 70% win rate against those G3s. So that's where you see like how difficult it is to actually climb, because you can, I think on average, well, you play like a bunch of like G1s, C3s, but also like what is your win rate based on? Question is like, is your win rate based on like you win all of your G3 matches, or is your win rate based on winning all of your G1 matches? Because it's actually more important to win your G1 matches than win your G3 matches. And the reason for that is simply a G1 or a C3, they're worth the same points. But if you lose, it is different points. So you actually have to play in a safe way that you feel like, okay, with these kind of drafts, you don't go too much for risky stuff. You don't go too much for like third triple revenge, that kind of stuff. Like, sure, you can do it here and there that you feel like it's really safe and it's not like your only solution to win. But against these matches that you lose a lot of points, you want to play safe. You don't want to go like super YOLO. Okay, if like 2 things get resisted in my team, I instantly lose. So yeah, that's for the win rate. So then you kind of have like an expectation of like, okay, you actually need like a crazy win rate to start gaining some points. Like if you want like 50 points a day, and let's say you play like on average like somewhere between like G2 and G3. So if you want to get like 40 points a day, which is a lot, is a good climb, you're gonna need like 87% win rate. That's a crazy day. Like going 25 and 5 or 26 and 4. Those are crazy days. We get luck sacked as well. You totally have like some matches you get luck sacked. Yeah, that's then another thing that I have. I have all of my matches. No, well, not all of the matches. I have a lot of matches recorded from uh that I did for like analyzing my matches. So it's like, ooh, you see my win rates. But yeah, my Okeana's win rate is pretty high. So I'm not gonna go over all of that. But you can see here at the bottom, wait, let me just scroll up a little bit. So you can see here that I had like pretty high win rate of like all of the matches that I checked. I didn't check all of my matches because you actually have to record them. But you saw like, especially at the end, you can see like, so it's 5-7-7-5 until like 5-8-29. There's just there's 4 losers and the rest is all wins. So that's pretty much my last like winning point where I just went like highly crazy and just started winning. Like that was from 2672 all the way until like 27 like 91. So, and the thing is, you see for every match you just see like +3 +3. So you see like 26. Next match. I got 29. Okay, next match. I got 32. Okay, next match. I got 35. Okay, next match. Like you it goes so slow. 38. You know how it works. So that's a thing that I also use for like tracking like my own win rates. Where do I win against? What do I lose against? So that kind of stuff. Another fun thing which I also kept track of pretty much every day. So let's just take it from the top 4. Is from the top 100. I could track if people actually were playing their wings or not. So so for references, what does this mean? So it's rank, score, wins, loses, draws, total matches, win rate, and timestamp. Okay. So here we have like the score. So here you can see Pinkroy didn't play for the last like times that this is not per day because you see the timestamps, they're not per day. Like I can do it like every 10 minutes, I could do it 5 minutes, I could do it like a day later. It's just whenever like I click on the thing. So that's why this is not all automatic. This is all whatever I do. So yeah, you see like he didn't play that much for the last few days. Because no wait, this is me. Oh wait. Yeah. So this is me. So you see I didn't play for the last few days. Oh. So here you can see like my point climb. At some point here you see my losers. And my losers didn't go up that much. I'm not gonna lie. Like here I was at 24 or yeah, 24-6. And 24-6 I kept like a really long time. And then you see like the amount of the matches that I played in here. So there I could like check. But I think mostly with like mine, I kept like constantly checking like in between. But with other people, you see more like increments of like 30 at some point. I think especially with the Chinese players because they mostly played like all 30 matches like straight up. Yeah, so this is how to play, for example. So it's all the way at the bottom. No, wait, let's take one that's like easier to see. Yeah, here, like you see an easy increment of like this is like 30 to that. So I could see this was actually a really bad day for him. He went like he went 21 and 9 and he actually netted minus 11 points. So that's kind of how I kept track of like, okay, is everyone playing? How much are they winning? What is their win rate? Can I actually keep up with that kind of stuff? So therefore I could, at some point I started way lower, but at some point they started playing a lot more and then I was like, okay, I have to play everything because the moment your win rate is higher than the people around you, you simply have to play everything and then you climb more than they do. It's just simple logics. If you have better win rate than them, you play more or you play the same amount, you will get there at some point. So that's pretty much what I did. So I was playing all my matches every day, which is a pain in the ass. I'm not gonna lie. That's like literally a pain in the ass to play all your matches because just playing all your matches, but you have to be like highly focused to play all your matches. Like every day I started my matches at pretty much the exact same time. I knew who was queuing. I knew who I was able to get queued into. I wrote down what people used. I was checking best, like, okay, he's drafting this, he's drafting that, that's on will, that's not on will. Like for every day, I just like had lists of like, okay, these are the people queuing, this is what I'm gonna get queued into. These are the people playing, this is what they use. Also, like some people are like, oh, you got boosted by blah blah whatever. I actually reverse sniped streamers by queuing when they were not queuing. Like I'm not gonna lie, I had like 3 screens open of streamers that were like streaming at that time that I didn't want to take points from, and I didn't want them to take points from me. But like that went both ways for like people that I knew that was climbing, like guildies, that kind of stuff, or people that I knew I would struggle to play against, because in the end, a Felicity is a +3, or playing against True Will is +3, or even playing like against How to Play was like +4 at some point, or playing against the G1 was also +3. I was like, well, sorry, I'm not gonna lie, with this point system, I'd rather kill a +3 and take his lunch money than I'm fighting like over Felicity's few points again. So that's the thing. Also, the thing is, some people are like, oh, this is boosting, that is boosting. Oh man, I'm like, there's a difference between like forcefully trying to queue into each other and then giving points, or just like you queue up to a friend of yours and you're like, okay, my points don't matter that much, I play for fun, and you're just like, you just play it easier, or whatever you want to call it. Is that really boosting? It's a really big difference between like forcefully trying to get queued into each other, like queuing up at the same time, or like stream snipe queuing or anything like that. This is really different than you have like one match against each other and you're like, ah, this guy is like super try harding for like his next best rank, I'll just give him this win. Like, it's just what friends do, I would say. Like, is it necessarily boosting? No. Did it happen to me a few times? Sure. Did it happen to everyone else? Sure. Did it happen a lot? No. Because I was mostly avoiding everyone I could queue into that I cared about, because I was tracking everyone that was queuing. So everyone, like all the time, I was like, okay, this one just queued, okay. His match is in best right now, okay. So I wait a little bit, okay. And now I probably won't get queued into him because he's probably in his next match. So most of the time I was just trying to avoid people. And then again, that kind of stuff happened to everyone. Like, sure, like in the Chinese community, if they face How to Play and they want How to Play to get in the Legend tournament and they're good friends with him, they will give him a win. It happens. Same for like, name any streamer, if he's trying to push for it and you have a few guys like, oh, I really like this guy, my points don't matter that much at this point, they will give a win. So you don't really like, you don't choose who you play against. So that's a big difference. Okay, and then one final thing is, with all of these matches that I have completed of everyone and that kind of stuff, I also have total data of win rates of units and that kind of stuff in this season. I kind of have to make like another like tier list video, because win rates don't represent the tier list, but they do influence it to a certain amount. So just going over the units, and which I also used a lot was, okay, so which unit is mostly first pick, or picked in which combination, and what is like the highest counter on that. And therefore, so for example, like before, Hathor was really first picked by a lot, so it was a really good counter into Hathor. If you have a really good counter setup to Hathor, you probably win a lot of matches. Currently Sierra's first pick a lot, so if you have a really good counter setup to Sierra's, then you probably win a lot of matches. So that's pretty much what I did. That's what I looked into, and that's where actually a lot of the climb of my win rate came from. It's just looking into like, okay, what is meta that people are playing? How do you counter it as best as possible? And therefore my win rate boosted like by a lot. Like, that's the biggest climb I had in my win rate for sure. It's just looking at what are people using? How do I counter that? How do I counter that? Also when they got luck sacked, also when things don't really work out, just like a solid counter. So here we have it. I actually do exclude some matches where I have like too many matches of people, so it's a little bit biased. So for example, my Gianna is not in there because I have like way too many of my own Gianna games, and I would like skyrocket her win rate because I have like 80 win rate on Gianna, or 83 or something win rate on Gianna, and then you have like, oh yeah, let's add like 600 matches of like the 21,000 that are like 80% win rate Gianna. Of course, I don't have all the data because this is just from best. What shows up in best is the top 3,000-ish or something. Even though I think it's even top 2,000. So is it biased because I follow more people on like favorites and that kind of stuff? Yes, it is. So does this say all that much? It does say something, but there's a lot of buts, ifs, buts. So take this with a grain of salt. Don't take this as like, okay, Han is the best unit and Dover's the next best thing. We got a nerf Dover's. No, it's not like that. That's why I don't publish this kind of data, because people would look at it like that. So what do we actually have here? If we check what is mostly first picked, Sierra 77% first pick. Holy Jesus, 72% pick, almost 73% picked. Oh yeah, the first pick is actually of this amount, how many times is Sierra first pick? So then it's 77%. So if Sierra shows up in a match, is she first pick? Yes, then she shows up in this number. So just, you know, for the reference. Because it's not like 70% of the matches she is the first pick. No. It's 77.5% of 72.98%. But for win rates, let's look at win rates. Well, actually, she's a super high win rate as well. So also, if you look at highest pick, Okeanos, Sierra, super high win rates, Fran, Molly. Hathor is still a decent win rate. Hathor is the lowest win rate since season like 2. So Hathor in current season is the lowest win rate that Hathor has ever been since season 2. Just letting you know, metas change. So yeah, Sierra, if you got like a really good counter setup against Sierra, and you got a really good counter setup against Okeanos, your win rate is gonna do this. It's gonna go off the screen. I'm not gonna lie. That's what you gotta focus on. You gotta know what people play, and then you gotta know like, okay, how do I counter it? Ooh, maybe I got something for that. Also, Molly, man, Molly is still a stupid unit. It's the 4th most picked unit, and it's a passive fucking. I don't know how you want to call it, man, but it's a really lame unit. So first LD we see in here is Gianna. Gianna OP at the moment, 55%. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually make the nerf of Gianna that she gets a double check for her S3. Wouldn't be surprised if they do it. She's pretty OP, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. I think it would be a lame nerf because you just add like, okay, let's just add more luck sacking variables to things. It's not really. If they would just increase her cooldown of S3 by 1 turn, I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. That makes sense. Like, she's OP, a little bit of nerf, makes sense. But if you just like add more luck sacking variables to it, I'm like, that's just annoying. Like if you up a cooldown by 1, it's a static variable that doesn't change. If you add more resistance checks, it's a variable that's annoying because you get tilted by variables. So then we have, it's like, okay, but what's good into Sierra? Oh, we have a win rate of all Sierra picks, all matches of Sierras, and everything that's low in win rate is really terrible against Sierra, like Josephine and Terrace, Mei Hoang. Yeah, Mei Hoang is actually apparently terrible into Sierras. Even like Molong's Juno apparently doesn't win that well against Sierras. What wins really well against Sierras? Oh, we have Gianna, Han OP. Han is OP. Did I mention that yet? Did I mention the win rate of Han yet? Yeah, Han, 59.55. Han is OP. You're talking about nerfing Gianna. It's like, okay, but this unit is 60% win rate. 60. That's a lot. Okay. So, Tian Lang, that kind of stuff. Ragdoll's still really good in it. Okay. Poseidon, a cleave. Savannah, that kind of stuff. So, Okeanos also has a decent win rate. So, I just checked that by that kind of stuff. So do these numbers, like if people go like, oh, I don't have these numbers, I can't do this shit. Just go to best, see when Sierra loses and that kind of stuff. Is that more effort? Yes. Is it more accurate? Also yes, because here I just have like, okay, she won or she lost. I don't know if it was a violent proc or if it was like anything else in there. So these are just numbers that don't really make sense in all situations. So it's actually better. Like this is for me just a backup to like confirm kind of what I think, or like to check if it's true what I think or what I've seen, but it's not like a guideline of like, okay, the number like this is what it is. No. So if people don't have this data, it doesn't matter. If Comtos would actually present all of this data from all matches, that would be really cool, because then you could actually do some real analysis on it, okay, and then you can compare stuff and you could say like, this works because blah 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 blah. We don't have that though. Don't think we're ever gonna get that. But it is just a side project for me. I've been working on for like what, the last 3 years, and I don't change that much in it like at all. And at some point, like, this will be useful. Like making that, I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So yeah, that's kind of the things that I did for my road to the Legend tournament. The most important thing is playing all of your matches, but playing all of your matches early doesn't value as much as playing all of your matches when all of the ranks are filled. What does it mean to have all of the ranks filled? G3 is 300 people, G2 is 1,000 people, and G1 is 2,500 people. So yeah, just mind that at the moment that the ranks are pretty filled, you just start like queuing a lot, playing a lot of matches. And hands down, it's always as simple as it is. if your win rate is higher than the people around you in your ranks, you're gonna climb in ranks. And that's just by playing more matches than they do, or playing the same amount, which should be max. And also it just helps for your like general drafting capabilities, or just like predicting drafts, predicting bans, that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of that at some point, that you draft in a certain way and then you have a last pick that's something, and then it's like, okay, this last pick is a must ban, and then you ban something else what they didn't expect. They're like simple prediction kind of patterns. So you get that simply from playing a lot. That's the only thing, playing a lot. So yeah, that's it for what I did for a Road to Legend tournament. Will I play for Legend tournament next season? I have no clue. Is the meta gonna change with the Street Fighters? Probably a bit. I don't expect too much, but probably a bit. We got the 20 star coming up. 20 star seems funny. 20 star special league. I actually got rank 2. For some reason I get rank 2s all the time. I don't know why. I got rank 2 in this one. I got rank 2 at least like 25 times in normal arena. I got rank 2 in special league. So it's time for getting some legends. Let's try special league legends? I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I got a really good team for that and a really good setup, so we'll see how that goes. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you in the next one. Also, I've been kind of slacking on like videos lately because of course I was working on RTA a lot and that kind of stuff, and doing some more stuff like in real life, pretending I have a life. So yeah, I try to keep up with like some more videos. I'm kind of behind on like siege videos, and I have some more dungeon guides I want to bring out. And just subscribe to the channel. You know where the button is at. You just click the thing. Might as well get to the point. Okay. See ya.